Daily Broadside to 858. Last night, I was in a major box store chain. I was in the electrical department, and I was looking for some connectors that I could not find. And so I go over, and of course I can't find anybody. So I was like, hey, can I get some help over here? So yeah, just hang out. I'll send somebody over. All right, so I'm hanging out in the aisle, just shooting the crap with myself and waiting for somebody to swing by and answer my question. And this dude named William finally comes by. Delightful guy, older guy, you know, he's probably working the second shift, maybe like picking up a few extra dollars because it's like 7 o'clock at night. And so we start having this discourse, and it goes something like this: hey, I'm looking for these. Do you have these? And he says, they might be, I think this is all we have over in electrical, but there might be something similar in hardware you could check over there, and all this. And so while he is talking, while he is answering, we're in an active conversation. This little like Hispanic looking girl rolls up with a buggy and literally just says, where's the AC stuff? Just completely interrupts the fact that we're currently having a conversation, right? And of course, he being the, you know, the service-oriented professional that he is, starts talking to her and answering her question, which I find no fault of his own, but that's more rude to me than it would be to ignore her because she wasn't in our conversation. Like, she just cut everybody off. And so I'm staring her down. And finally, I was like, she looks at me, and I was like, no, you go ahead. You go ahead. We weren't talking or anything. You can go ahead and interrupt about your stupid air conditioning and all this. And she's like, I just needed to know. I said, I know what you needed to know. We all know because you interrupted telling us. I said, no one cares. We were talking. This is a civilization we're trying to run, you idiot. You know, and so I start, like, I went a little too far. But at the same time, I didn't, because screw that woman. I cannot stand rude people. It just drives me nuts. So she finally just walks off. He's looking it up on his little, you know, box store phone about where she needs to go to find the HVAC department, and she just pedals off, and I'm like, and so I'm still mad. Like 10 minutes later, I'm like, people just suck, you know. Like, it would be one thing if she'd have said, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt. Can you point me to the direction of the H? I'm totally fine with that. I got no issues. But just walking up while the dude is talking and being like, where's the AC? It got all over me. It's like no one teaches manners anymore. You know, like we're not able to, you know, decide what's right and what's wrong in a communal environment as far as our interactions with human. But then he's like, I'm sorry. I said, you don't need to apologize. I was like, you didn't do anything wrong. I was like, she's just rude as hell. And he's like, you have no idea how many times a night that happens. And I'm like, oh, I can only imagine. I don't know, man. Like, you're at a box store at 7 o'clock. You don't look like an HVAC repairman. You probably just need like a filter, right? And but so whatever emergency has befallen you, it's not that important, right? Like, it could have waited 2 seconds, or you just be polite, and I would have gladly been like, please take the floor. I'm in no rush, you know. But I wish I had videotaped the experience, because I am a very aggressive personality when I need to be, and stuff like that just gets all over me. And I'll say this: I watched a video last night of I'd seen this before, but there's a 22-pound world's heaviest mug, like a coffee mug. It looks more like a beer stein. Looks like something that was just like CNC machined out of like straight, like, I don't know what the most dense, I can't remember what the densest metal is, but at any rate, it's 22 pounds. And they got all these people trying to drink. Well, you can lift it, but then tilting it to your face and trying not to spill it is a completely different animal. But the problem I have with it is, like, I feel like I could go out and buy a $15,000 CNC machine and make a, wait for it, 23-pound world's heaviest. Like, 22 pounds, like, there's so many things in the world that, like, are records, like unofficial records or whatnot, that just don't seem that beatable, you know, or unbeatable. Like, for example, like, a human can only spit a watermelon seed so far. I don't know what that number is. But let's say it's 30 feet, which boggles my mind how you can eject a seed out of your mouth 30 feet away from your body. But it is pretty far. I know that much. I just don't remember what the record is. It's probably like 70 feet. They caught a nice wind, a headwind when it came out. But my point is, you could try every human in the world. There's going to be like a law of diminishing returns. We're not going to be able to get past X amount of feet. However, when you're constructing things, you can always build it bigger, even if it's an inch bigger, 2 decimeters bigger, 3/8 of an inch, whatever. And so it's kind of like this. A town nearby where I live, okay? I'm actually driving through it right now. It has the world's largest chair, because it was, they built chairs and furniture there back in the day before China took over. And it's right downtown. It's silly looking. It might be 32 feet tall. It's just a big, wooden chair. And people go and take their picture with it, and it's just kind of corny. And to me, I've always wanted to, just go get some wood and build a 36-foot chair and just put it in my front yard and be like, what's up, Who's got the biggest chair now? Because what would they do? Because technically, they no longer have the biggest chair, and they're like the chair city. That's what they're known as, right? How can you so they would have to what? Tear it down and build a 38-foot chair? And then I'll be like, I'll throw some money at this fun problem. Bam, 42-foot chair. Where does it end? You know what I'm saying? Nobody would do that because that would be a lot of wood in today's world that would cost a lot of money. And obviously, even as small of a city as it is, I don't have the budgetary ability to just throw money caution at the wind like they do. I can't compete with a city's budget. I don't know what they allot for chair building every year, but it's probably more than I allot for chair building every year. My point, though, is if Elon Musk wanted to continue, at some point, you'd be like, all right, second biggest chair in the world, that's just where we're at, But with a mug, anybody could build a mug. I could fill I don't know if you want to be drinking coffee out of lead, filled whatever, but the point is, I don't understand how we keep records. People should challenge some of these records and really make things goofy for people, just be awkward, your move, Chair City. Y'all got to do something, because right now, the kid's got the biggest chair in the world, at least in the country. I don't know what the record is, but I think it's the biggest chair. It can't be the biggest in the world. There's got to be a bigger. It's like I said, it's not that big. You can Google it. It might be 30 feet. I don't know. But at any rate, that's all I have to say about that. That's all I have to say about that. Gen 8. All right, later.